Hello dear students. So, in this session I am going to start with unit 2, in that chapter 2.1, that is electronic spectra of transition metal complexes. So, before going to the exact explanation of electronic spectra of transition metal complex, so let us have a brief introduction. So, most of the transition metal complexes are highly colored and absorb radiant energy in the UV, visible and IR regions of the electromagnetic spectrum. Okay. So, you all know about electromagnetic spectrum. So, when a beam or when a ray of incident light is going to fall upon the transition metal complex, so because of the colored nature, so since the transition metal complexes are highly colored in nature and they have the tendency to absorb radiant energy, so we can see a electromagnetic spectrum in such type of transition metal complexes. The promotion of electrons from an orbitals of lower energy to an orbital of higher energy due to absorption of electromagnetic radiation, which result in a change in the arrangement of the electrons in the orbitals of the molecule, is termed as electronic transition. Okay. So, this is a common phenomenon which we observe in all the elements. So, we know that an element, it consists of a nucleus, okay, and it will have molecular orbitals. So, in that orbitals, molecular orbital or atomic orbital, so in that the electrons are going to revolve around the nucleus. Okay. So, when the valence electrons which are present at the outermost shell of the nucleus of the atomic orbitals, when they absorb a radiant energy, so they are going to excite from the lower energy state to the higher energy state. Okay. So, what happens when they absorb energy and move on to the higher energy state? So, here the electronic transition is going to takes place. So, the transition between the lower energy of an orbital to the higher energy due to the absorption of electromagnetic radiation will lead us or will lead that particular metal or the element to change its arrangement of electrons. There will be a change in the arrangement of electrons. So, those electrons which are present in the valence shell or just beyond the inner shell of the valence electrons, so they are going to excite towards the upper orbital or higher orbital energy, and thereby we will observe the change in the arrangement of the electrons in the orbitals of the molecule. So, this is what is called as electronic transition. Okay. So, in this particular topic we are going to study the transition which is going to takes place from the lower orbital, lower energy orbital towards the higher energy orbital, that especially of the transition metals, those metals which have got a highly colored nature and which have the tendency to absorb the radiant energy. So, they are going to transit from the lower energy to the higher energy state, thereby changing the arrangement of electrons. So, that is studied in this particular chapter. Okay. So, each electronic transition causes an absorption band in the electronic spectrum of the molecular species. Okay. Electronic spectra of the complexes helps us to predict the structure and bonding. So, why we have to study the electronic spectra? So, the main application of studying this electronic spectra is to study or to predict the structure and bonding, how the structure of the particular metal complexes is seen or observed, and also what sort of bonding, chemical bonding is observed in that particular metal complex will be studied by studying the electronic spectra of the complexes. Okay. So, this is all about a brief introduction to the electronic spectra of transition metal complexes. So, further what we have to concentrate is about LS coupling or Russell-Saunders coupling. It is also called LS coupling, is also called as a Russell-Saunders coupling. So, mainly there are 3 types. Okay. So, when more than one spin free electrons are present, suppose if there is more than one free spin electrons are present. So, then there is a possibility of 3 types of electronic transition. We can observe 3 types of electronic transition. They are, the first one is spin spin coupling, and the second one is orbit orbit coupling, and the third one is spin orbit coupling. Okay. So, these are the main 3 types of transitions which we can see in the electronic transition of the metal complexes. So, now let us see one by one what is meant by spin spin coupling. So, the spin quantum number of the individual electrons are coupled or interact to give resultant spin quantum numbers of the electrons. Okay. So, here we see the coupling between the spin and spin quantum number are going to get coupled in this type of electronic transition. Okay. So, what is meant by a spin quantum number? A spin quantum number is nothing but, so we all know that electron spins on its own axis during its orbital motion. Okay. So, each electron has got its own spin. So, it is going to spin on its own axis during its orbital motion. Okay. So, just you imagine the solar system where around the sun all the planets are going to revolve, right. Along with that, for example, if we take earth, the earth itself has got a spin, it is going to spin on its own axis. So, that is why we have day and night. Okay. So, it is going to spin. In the same way, the electrons also will have spin on its own axis during its orbital motion. So, as a result of this, electron possesses an intrinsic angular moment. It possesses an intrinsic angular moment, and that is what is called as spin quantum number, and we represent it by the symbol small letter s, and now we can have the values of plus 1 by 2, that is half. Okay. So, it can be a positive and also a negative value. We can give a positive and a negative value for a spin quantum number. It is symbolized by small letter s, and the two values which we can have is so plus 1 by 2 or minus 1 by 2. Okay. So, this is what is called as spin quantum number. So, in the electronic transition of metal complexes, suppose if we take a spin spin coupling means, so in this the spin spin coupling, in which the spin angular moments of the electrons are coupled or interact, and that is what is called as a spin spin coupling. Okay. And the next the second one is orbit orbit coupling. So, in orbit orbit coupling, so we will see the orbital angular momentum of the electrons are coupled. So, here the orbits or the orbitals which are present, which we can see around the nucleus. So, the orbitals angular moment of a electrons are going to get coupled. That means coupled means they are going to fall or they are going to share the spin quantum numbers between each other. Okay. So, the orbitals of the particular metal complex are going to get coupled, whereas in the third step spin orbit coupling is observed. That means in which the coupling of a spin and a orbital angular momentum of the same electron occurs. Okay. So, these are the 3 different types of electronic transitions which we will see in the transition metal complexes. The coupling between the spin of one electron with the orbital angular momentum of a different electron is negligible, and hence it is ignored. Okay. So, we cannot see the coupling between spin of one electron with the orbital angular momentum of the other or a different electron. So, that is why we are going to ignore the spin angular momentum or a spin orbital angular momentum. Okay. These couplings modify electron energies. When spin spin coupling or spin orbit coupling takes place, So, there the energy of the electron is going to get modified. For elements of low atomic numbers, that is up to the atomic number 30, so spin-spin coupling will be more than the orbit-orbit coupling, and orbit-orbit coupling is seen more than the spin-orbit coupling. That means, so for those elements which has the lower atomic number, that is below 30. So, those elements which have got the atomic number below 30, so they are favored towards the spin-spin coupling. We will see spin-spin coupling in most favorable way. Okay, and the next is orbit-orbit coupling, and spin-orbit coupling is very low, seen in very least of the very few of the elements. Among the elements beyond the atomic number 30, so we will see spin-orbit coupling which will be more significant, and therefore, with the heavy elements a different system called as JJ coupling is used. Okay. So, for those elements which have got the atomic number more than 30, so their spin orbit coupling will be more significant. For that reason, so for heavy elements we are going to use a different system, what is called as JJ coupling. Okay. So, there we will not use spin-spin coupling or orbit-orbit coupling or spin-orbit coupling. So, there we are going to use a different system to study the electronic transition of the metal complexes. So, that is JJ coupling is used. Okay. So, these couplings are also called as Russell-Saunders coupling. Now, we will see what is meant by a spin-spin coupling. The spin quantum numbers of the individual electrons are coupled or interact to give a resultant spin quantum number of electrons. Okay. So, this is what is called as spin quantum number. So, here let me call S, that is which I am indicating by a capital S, it is called as the spin quantum number. Okay. So, S is called as a spin quantum number, and it is calculated by knowing the spin quantum number of each electrons. So, what is the spin quantum number of each electrons which has present in the respective orbitals? So, that is going to be calculated. Okay. So, the net spin quantum number S will be equal to S1 plus S2, and S1 plus S2 minus 1 and S1 minus 2, and it goes on. Okay. So, this is how the spin quantum number of the individual electrons which are coupled or interact to give resultant spin quantum number of the electron is studied. Okay. So, now let us take examples. So, for D2 electrons, so those elements which have got D2 electrons, especially group 4 elements. Okay. So, if you keep the periodic table in front of you while listening to this lecture, you will understand it in a very clear way. Okay. So, you see that you have a periodic table kept along with the phone or the laptop which you are in which you are watching this video. Okay. So, now observe the group 4 elements. Okay. So, where a maximum of 10 electrons will be occupied. Okay. So, in this when 10 electrons are occupied, so we will have the two possibilities of the arrangement of the electrons. Okay. So, that is the spin will be either both the electrons, means the electrons which has been present in the D2 system where maximum of 10 electrons can be occupied. So, they can have two possible ways of arrangement of the spin, that is it can have a parallel spin or it can have anti-parallel spin. Okay. So, for example, if you observe the titanium, zirconium or hafnium, so these are the examples of the elements which belongs to D2 electron system. So, there if you see the electronic configuration of titanium says that, so argon is the a noble gas, and the outermost electron is a 3d2 and 4s2. Okay. So, 3d2 and 4s2. So, that means so there are 4 electrons which are present in the outermost shell. So, these 4 electrons can take the position of a parallel way of arrangement or anti-parallel way of an arrangement. Okay. So, if you observe this, so you can understand. That means the possible way of coupling of these two electrons is so S will be equal to So, for these 2 electrons, since it has got the same spin 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, which will be equal to 1, or it has another way of arrangement, that is S is equals to 1 by 2 minus, since this is in a opposite direction. So, this will get a negative sign, that is 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2, which will be equal to 0. So, when they are coupled opposed, so this is when they are arranged in a opposed manner, that means one will be towards the upward side and another one electron will arrange towards the downward side. Then we will have the net spin quantum number, that is S, will be equals to either 1 or 0. Okay. So, this is how we are going to calculate the resultant spin quantum number. Similarly, if we see for d3 electrons, that means, so d2 and d3 electrons means in their outermost shell, that is especially in the d subshell, so they will have 3 electrons. Okay. So, here, so just like how I gave an example of titanium, zirconium and hafnium, if you see in your periodic table, you can observe that at the outermost shell, so these elements have got 2 electrons, that especially in the d subshell. Okay. Now, we will take an example of d3 electrons. So, for d3 electrons, so the outermost shell, in the outermost d shell, so we will have 3 electrons present. So, that is why, so here I have represented it in a 3 electron system. So, since it has got 3 electron system, so here the possible ways of arrangement of the electrons will be in 2 types, that is one is all will be arranged towards the upward side. Okay. So, that means all the 3 electrons will have the same spin, that is the positive spin. So, net quantum number, spin quantum number will be equals to 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, which will be equal to 3 by 2. Okay. Similarly, the another way is, so here if you can't see it properly, means I will zoom it. So, here 2 electrons are in upward direction and one is towards the downward direction, that means 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2, which will be equal to the net spin quantum number will be equal to 1 by 2. So, therefore, in D3 system, the spin coupling will give either 3 by 2 or 1 by 2 value. Okay. So, the net spin quantum number value in d3 electrons will be 3 by 2 or 1 by 2. Okay. So, similarly, if we take the example of d4 electrons, so in d4 electrons, say for example, niobium and tungsten. Okay. So, niobium and tungsten, if you see these 2 elements, the electronic configuration of these 2 elements, so here you can observe there are 4 electrons which are present in the outermost shell. So, those 4 electrons, so they can arrange in 3 possible ways when they are coupled. So, when they are spin coupled, so they will have the similar orientation. All the electrons will be arranged towards the upward phase. So, here the net spin quantum number will be equals to, so half plus half plus half plus half, which will be equal to 2. If they are coupled, when there is a inversion or when the electron rearranges. So, here the possible way is, so the 3 electrons will be oriented towards the upward side and one will be towards the lower side. This possibility also can be seen. So, in that case we will have a net spin quantum number which will be equal to 1, and in the same way there is also the chance or the possibility of arranging in this manner. So, when this type of arrangement or coupling is observed, in this type of coupling, so we will have a net spin quantum number which will be equal to 0. So, that is why, so for d4 electrons the spin coupling values will get 2, 1, 0. That means, so 3 values will be assigned for spin coupling values when we calculate the resultant spin quantum number for d4 electrons. Okay. So, in the same way for d5 electrons, we can take the examples of chromium and molybdenum. So in chromium and molybdenum, we have 5 electrons in the outermost shell, that is the electronic configuration of chromium is argon 3d5 4s1. Argon is the noble gas electronic configuration. So in bracket argon 3d5 4s1. So that means we have got 5 electrons in the outermost shell of the chromium, that is why it is called as a d5 electron system. So in d5 electron system, if we see the arrangement of the electrons in the outermost shell, so they can take in this manner, that is where all the electrons will be oriented towards or oriented in the parallel direction. All the 4 electrons which are present, sorry 5 electrons, so they will have the parallel orientation, which gives us the spin quantum number S will be equals to 5 divided by 2. In the same way, so if the coupling of spin only one electron is going to couple with the rest of the 4 electrons, then the net spin quantum number will be equals to 3 divided by 2. In the same way, so the 2 electrons which are present, so they can form a spin coupling and they will give the value of 1 by 2. Okay. So that is why we can observe 3 different values for d5 electrons when spin coupling is going to take place. That means, so S can take 5 by 2, 3 by 2 and 1 by 2 value for a d5 electrons. Suppose if spin coupling is absorbed in those elements. Okay. So those elements which have d5 electrons, if they have spin coupling during the excitation from the lower energy state to the higher energy state, when they excite or when they transit from the lower energy state to higher energy state, so the d5 electrons, they can take 3 different values of spin coupling. Okay. So this is what is understood in the first type of transition, that is first type of electronic interaction which we are going to see here. And the next is orbit coupling. So here orbit coupling is the total angular momentum quantum number L for 2 electrons is obtained by adding vectorial orbital angular momentum, that is L1 plus L2. Okay. So here just like how we have added the individual spin, that is S1 plus S2, in the same way, so in orbit coupling, so we are going to add the vectorially orbit angular momentum, that is L1 plus L2. Okay. So the quantity of rotation of a body is called as angular momentum. This you have studied in physics, I think. Angular momentum can be understood as or defined as the quantity of rotation of a body. Okay. So here we will consider the secondary quantum number and also the azimuthal quantum number. So both these secondary quantum number and azimuthal quantum number, so they describes the shape of the orbital that an electron is going to occupy. Okay. So that is very important to understand orbit coupling. Okay. So orbit coupling means the total angular momentum, that is the quantity of rotation of a body which is represented by capital letter L for 2 electrons is obtained by adding vectorially orbit angular momentum, that is L1 plus L2. So therefore, the net orbit coupling or orbital angular momentum L, that is capital L, the total angular momentum quantum number L will be equals to L1 plus L2, L1 plus L2 minus 1, and it goes on. Okay. So this is going to continue on. So the lowest value is 0 and the highest possible value depending on the principal quantum number is n minus 1. So that is why, so here we are going to write L1 plus L2 minus 1 or L1 plus L2 minus 2 like this. This is because the lowest value is 0. We can have the lowest value of 0. Okay. So here if you see, if you observe this table, you can understand it in a better way. That means so for S subshell, so the lowest value is 0 and for P it is 1 and D it is 2 and for F it is 3, like this it goes on. Okay. So, therefore, product of its momentum or moment of inertia and its angular velocity will give the total angular momentum quantum number. That means, so L1 will be considered as 2 and L2 is also considered as 2. So, therefore, so L can take the values of 4, 3, 2, 1 etc. If you substitute this value for 2D electrons, so this is an example which we have taken for the 2D electrons. That means, so here L1 will be equal to 2 and L2 will be equal to 2. So, if you substitute these values to this, so 2 plus 2, so which will be equal to 4 and 2 plus 2 minus 1 which will be equals to 3, and for this 2 plus 2 minus 2, so which will be equals to 2. So, like this it goes on. Okay. So, for individual electrons L value define their orbitals. Okay. So, this is the L value. So, this is the L value. So, this L value so defines in which orbital the electron is present. Okay. So, if the L value is 0, then we can understand that so that particular electron is in the S atomic orbital. If the L value is 1, then that particular electron is in the p atomic orbital, and if the L value is 5, then that particular electron has been located in the atomic orbital H. Likewise, we can understand. The L values define the quantum numbers of energy states for a system of electrons. Such L values are denoted by a set of capital letters called term letters. Okay. So, here just like how we have sp, df orbitals, in the same way, so the L value, so the L is the total angular momentum quantum number value. So, it gives us the information about the energy states of the system. That means, the energy states of the system is called as the group of each electron. Such L values, so they will be called as L values are called as states which are denoted by a set of capital letters which is called as a term letter. Okay. Suppose if the total angular momentum quantum number value. So, this is the total angular momentum quantum number. So, if the L value is 0, then the term letter used is capital S, and if the L value is 1, then the term letter which is used is capital P, and if the L value is 2, then the term letter which is used is capital D. Like this it goes on. Okay. So, this is what about orbit coupling. Okay. So, in my next class we will see what is meant by spin orbit coupling. Okay. So, I request all of you to keep a periodic table in front of you while listening to this lecture, and if you get any doubts you please discuss with me in the Google Meet session, or you write what and all the doubts you have, so that you will get the clarification by me. Okay. So, I am going to stop it here, and in my next class we will continue with the spin orbit coupling. Thank you, dear students.